So yesterday we have put up the question, what do we mean by platform independent? Okay, so any guess?
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Yes, sir.
Guesses now, because yesterday we have discussed about it, so you have a time.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Okay, so what is the difference between machine independent and platform independent? So what do we mean by machine independent? Basically, the difference is uh, when we say machine independent, then we are talking about processor, basically, or hardware. And when
Sir, you're not properly audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
now, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, in the previous class, we have discussed about the portability and platform independence. So basically, the portability is the issue when we talk about the hardware. Different processor पे हम किसी चीज को रन करा पाएंगे कि नहीं रन करा पाए, बेसिक क्वेश्चन ये. So just a hardware change, core to duo to core, and all those are the processors that we are using. So portability means any of the processor can execute that program. Platform independent basically talks about the operating systems. Linux, Unix, like Windows, Mac, etc. So platform independent in the sense, see, when you compile the program in Windows, then the output is .c file. After compilation, the output will be with the extension of .c file. Those who have Mac operating system, if they compile the C program, the extension might be different. Those who have Unix operating system, the extension of the compiled file will be different. Okay. So if in any case you are using any of the specific tasks of the user operating system, then there are chances like your program could not be able to run on Mac operating system, or the system that you have program that you have created in Mac operating could not be able to perform in Unix or Windows operating system. So there is a debate on this topic, like platform independent है कि नहीं है, क्या है क्या नहीं है. This is why I have told you to read about it. So you read about it, come to a conclusion, and then inform me what is the answer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we move forward now. So we were here in the previous class. Yeah. So this is the procedure for executing the C program. For example, you have a particular program in which you have written some code. The code can be anything. It can be just simply
Sir, your voice
saying
is
hello
not
world
clear.
also. Dash include uh, now is it clear? Okay.
No.
Don't know what is the issue with the voice today. Is this clear now?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me let me do something. Now the voice is fine.
No, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Still it was cracking.
Okay. Voice is clear now, or is
Yes, sir. It's fine right now.
okay? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what we are going to look over here is how the C program is being get it executed. So for example, when you create a program, it will be stored as .c uh, extension. Then it will go to the preprocessor. Preprocessor will include the header files that you are using. For example, you are using header file over here as stdio.h. Okay, and then after including that, we are going to give this program to compiler. Compiler, what compiler will do? In the previous class, we have seen process of compiler is to convert the high level language into low level language. So it will convert the C language code into low level language, and object file of that code is being created. That is why we are creating first.obj, that is object file is being created. Then it moves to the linker, and then it will the linker will create the exe files. So exe file of the code will be created by the linker. Okay. Then a variable is defined as a meaningful name given to a data storage location in a computer memory. So for example, if I am going to declare a equal to 5, then here the variable name is a, which will store value 5 somewhere in the memory. So a variable is defined as a meaningful name given to a data storage location in a computer. So हम ये तो नहीं बोल सकते ना कि रैक नंबर 10 में एक वैल्यू स्टोर करनी है जिसका वैल्यू है 5. Okay, we cannot say like within particular memory location, that is xxyy, store 5. What we say, a equal to 5. Now it depends on the system to store the value in a particular memory location. That memory location will be referred by the name a. हमें रेफरेंस के लिए वो मेमोरी लोकेशन जो है वो ए नाम से है. ओके, हम उस मेमोरी लोकेशन को ए नाम से रेफर करेंगे. whenever we say like a, that means we are referring a particular memory location where we are storing value equal to 5. Okay, so when using a variable, we actually refer to address of the memory where data is stored. So we are addressing what? A. So A is what? A memory location where the value is being stored. So with the value is stored on a particular memory location, if I say A equal to 5, then that value is 5. So when using a variable, we actually refer to address of the memory where data is stored. So for naming the variable, we can use, it must be a valid identifier. It must not be a keyword. ये हमने पिछली स्लाइड में देखा है. Like here, it must not be tokens. Like it must not be a keyword. It must not identifier. For creating the identifier, we should follow these rules. Okay, so we have seen this in slide number 9. So now we won't talk much about it. So it must be a valid identifier, must not be a keyword. Name are case sensitive. So for example, if I define capital A equal to 5 and I'm saying C equal to A plus B, where I'm using C equal to small a plus b, then I am doing a mistake because I have done capital A equal to 5. And I am referring it by small a. So case sensitive means if you do a spelling mistake, or if you are using capital letter and then you are referring it with a small letter, then it will not work properly. Okay. The variable are identified by only first 32 characters. The library commonly uses name beginning with underscore. Okay. Naming style, uppercase style and underscore style. So lower lower limit. So as we have seen in slide number 9, we cannot give spaces. Blank spaces and commas are not allowed. Here you can see. Okay. So we cannot give spaces. So for example, if you have name Ajay Kumar, so AJAY space KUMAR. So we cannot do it over here. So AJAY underscore KUMAR. इस तरह से आप रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. यहाँ AJAY capital A JAY then capital KUMAR. So these are basically the naming styles. Then declaring a variable. So each variable used must be declared. For example, if I'm saying A equal to 5, B equal to 10, and int A comma B, we have defined like we are using two variable int A and B, and then I'm saying A equal to 5, B equal to 10, and then I'm saying C equal to A plus B, then your program will throw an error like C is not being defined. So for that, what you need to do in the declaration, that is int A comma B, you need to write int A comma B comma C. So each variable used must be declared. Okay. A form of declaration statement is data type variable 1, variable 2. For example, what I've said like int A comma B. So data type here was integer. Now it can be float, it can be char, or any other data type. So a form of declaration of the statement is data type, then variable name. For example, we have said like A comma B comma C, whatever you want to take. So declaration announces the data type of the variable and allocates appropriate memory location. No initial value like 0 or for integer should be assumed. So what it says, if I say int A, int comma int B, okay, So, and I say printf percentage d a. So what I am saying, हमने सिर्फ डिक्लेरेशन किया, उसमें कोई वैल्यू इनिशियलाइजेशन नहीं किया. हमने int a कॉमा b किया खाली. हमने ये नहीं लिखा कि a इक्वल टू 5 या b इक्वल टू 10. हमें कुछ नहीं लिखा. हमने सिर्फ कहा int a कॉमा b एंड देन आई एम गोइंग टू प्रिंट a. So while printing a, it will give you certain value, a garbage value, because what I am doing is I am referencing a memory location with variable name a. So एक पर्टिकुलर मेमोरी लोकेशन को हम बोल रहे हैं, इस मेमोरी लोकेशन हमारे रेफरेंस के लिए वो मेमोरी लोकेशन a है. So हो सकता है कि कभी किसी ने उस मेमोरी लोकेशन पे पहले भी काम किया हो, तो उसने कोई वैल्यू वहां पे स्टोर कराई हो. तो जब हम प्रिंट ए करेंगे और हमने प्रिंट ए में कोई वैल्यू डिक्लेयर नहीं की है, तो वो उस गार्बेज वैल्यू को प्रिंट कर देगा. तो ये स्टेटमेंट का यही मतलब है. नाउ डिक्लेरेशन अनाउंसेस द डेटा टाइप ऑफ अ वेरिएबल एंड एलोकेट्स एप्रोप्रिएट मेमोरी लोकेशन. It will allocate a appropriate memory location. No initial value like zero or integer should be assumed. So whatever operation is being performed earlier on that memory location, for example, any string could be stored, any hexadecimal number could be stored in particular that memory location. That value could be printed if we print that a. Okay. सो जीरो नहीं अज्यूम करना है आपका कि वहां पे हमने a इक्वल टू int a int b किया और a को प्रिंट किया तो जीरो प्रिंट करेगा. नहीं, वो हो सकता है कोई गार्बेज वैल्यू प्रिंट करे जो ऑलरेडी उस मेमोरी लोकेशन पे पड़ी होगी. ठीक है. सो इट इज पॉसिबल टू असाइन एन इनिशियल वैल्यू टू अ वेरिएबल इन द डिक्लेरेशन इटसेल्फ. ओके. डेटा टाइप variable equal to expression. So declaration and initialization example is int sum equal to 10. So हम sum को declare भी कर रहे हैं कि sum is a data type of integer and its value is 10. Then char letter equal to a. So here variable name is letter which is of character type and the stored value is a. Then float marks equal to 78.5. Here the variable name is marks, the data type is float and the value is 78.5. So we can either declare the variable first and then initialize its value, or we can declare the variable and as soon as after declaration we can initialize the value. So declaration and initialization at the same step. So it is being done like int sum equal to 10. So sum is a variable of integer type whose value is 10. Okay. Now data types in C. So data type can be defined as type of data or variable or constant stores where we can store certain values. When we use a variable in program, then we have to mention the type of data. This can be handled using data type in C. For example, we have primitive data types. Primitive data types are integer, character, float, void. And we have derived data types. So derived data types are array, pointer, structures, and union. Then we have user defined data type, which are typedef and enum data type that we are going to see later on in our class. Basically in few of the coming classes we are going to see first type, that is primary data type, integer, character, float, and void. And then we will move forward for array, pointer, structure, and union. And then after that we will move to typedef and enum. So integer, character, float, and void that we are going to cover in coming classes. So basic data types, that is primitive or fundamental data types in C are integer data types. floating point data types, character data types, and void data type. Derived are array, pointer structure, and user defined are typedef and enum. So in primitive data types, we have characters. The storage size is 1 byte, and its value will range from -128 to 127, or you can say 0 to 255. Okay. Then we have unsigned character. Its value range from 0 to 255. Then we have signed character, whose value ranges from -128 to 127. Then we have integer. The integer can be of either 2 or 4 bytes. It depends on the compiler and the system. So अगर वो 2 बाइट का है तो -32768 to 32767 तक उसकी वैल्यू हो सकती है. अगर वो 4 बाइट्स का है तो -2147483684222147483647 यहाँ तक की उसकी वैल्यू हो सकती है. Then we have unsigned integer. It can also be of 2 or 4 bytes. At the range is this. Then we have short. Short का स्टोरेज साइज भी 2 बाइट्स है. इसकी रेंज है आपकी -32768 to 32767. Then we have unsigned integer. So its range is 0 to 6553. Then we have long, that is of 4 bytes, and then we have unsigned long, which is of 4 bytes. Then we have float, which typically stored in 4 bytes, and then we have double, which are stored in 8 bytes. So floating point number are rational number and always a signed number. Okay. So float हम कहाँ use करते हैं? For example, if we want to have a value like in decimal points, 8.6. So then we have to use float. If you use integer, then it might give you value like either 8 if you are saying a equal to 8.6, and if you are using it as integer, then either it will give you 8 or floor, that is 8.6 का floor निकालेंगे तो वो 9 भी print कर सकता है. It depends on the compiler. Okay. Okay, so the integer data type can be signed or unsigned. So signed data type can be integer, short, and long. As we have said, the floating point numbers are always signed. Then float can have float, double, and long double. Into 2 कर लीजिएगा. Float का अगर 4 है तो double into 2, that is 8. Double का into 2, long double. Okay. Then character data type. So if we want to define a character data type, then what we have to do? First, we have to use data type, that is char. Then variable name. Here the variable name is ch, equal to, within single inverted commas, you need to write the character type. So if I say char ch equal to a, then I am saying ch is a variable which is of data type character that stores a value a. If I say int I, then I am saying I am declaring a variable I which is of data type integer. Okay. Now, if I say I equal to, within single inverted commas, a. Now, what will happen? Any guesses? If I say int I and then I say I equal to single inverted commas a, what I am doing here?
A is the
That
character.
Okay,
is
roll
the
number
numeral.
66. See, logically, if we are saying int I, so I am doing it right. This line, if I am saying char ch equal to a, then this is also correct. If I am saying int I equal to int I, this is also correct. Compiler will not throw an error. I equal to single inverted commas a. What it will do? It will have the ASCII value of a. ASCII value of a means the as each keyword has its own ASCII value. Okay, so a has its own ASCII value. So it will I will store the ASCII value of a. Okay, so if I am saying ch equal to 65, so the ASCII value ch 65 for the corresponding ASCII value of 65, we have on the keyboard letter capital A. Okay, so if I say ch equal to 65, so it will take 65 as an ASCII value. So for that corresponding ASCII value, there is a capital A stored here, because in keyboard every key has its own ASCII value. So 65 is the ASCII value of A. So if I say ch equal to 65, it will store the value A, because 65 is the ASCII value of A. Now if I say ch equal to ch plus 1, now ch is B. ch plus 1 is 65 plus 1, 66. The ASCII value of 66 is, for the corresponding ASCII value of 66, we have B. ch plus plus, it will increment the value. It is equal to plus 1. So now ch was 65, ch equal to 61, 65 plus 1, 66. Now ch plus plus, so 66 plus 1, this is 67. For the 67, the corresponding, for the ASCII value of 67, we have C over there stored in the system. इसमें कोई डाउट है? ASCII वैल्यू क्या होता है? देवांशु, ASCII वैल्यू पता है ना क्या होता है? हम जब भी हमारा जो कीबोर्ड है, हम की प्रेस करते हैं कीबोर्ड में, जब लैपटॉप या डेस्कटॉप पे आप काम कर रहे हो, तो हम एक बटन प्रेस करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल हम क्यू प्रेस करते हैं, तो क्यू हैज टू बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू मशीन लैंग्वेज. हम तो क्यू प्रेस कर रहे हैं ना, तो क्यू के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग एक निमोनिक होगा और एक वैल्यू होगी जो कन्वर्ट होगी 0 एंड 1 के फॉर्म में. सो फॉर एग्जांपल ओवर हियर इट इज सेइंग 65 ए. अगर आप ए प्रेस कर रहे हो तो दैट मीन्स वी आर यूजिंग नंबर 65. अब 65 को डेसिमल में कन्वर्ट कर लो. तो डेसिमल में जब 65 को कन्वर्ट, ए को प्रेस करने का मतलब है 65 को डेसिमल में कन्वर्ट करो, वो फंक्शन कराना है सिस्टम में. ठीक है? Okay, let me explain it again. So if I'm saying char ch equal to single inverted commas a, so it is storing a character value a. If I'm saying int I, so what I'm saying, I is a variable of data type integer. अब वो उसमें सिर्फ इंटीजर वैल्यू स्टोर कर सकते हैं. उसमें सिर्फ हम इंटीजर वैल्यू स्टोर कर सकते हैं. तो हम कह रहे हैं कि I इक्वल टू ए. तो अब जब हम ये कह रहे हैं I इक्वल टू ए, तो ये हम कह रहे हैं कि ये, लेकिन ए तो कैरेक्टर है, लेकिन उस कैरेक्टर के कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग ए की एस्काई वैल्यू इसमें स्टोर हो जाएगी। ए की एस्काई वैल्यू है 97. So now I will become 97. So if I say CH equal to 65, अब देखिए यहाँ पे CH क्या है? CH is a डेटा टाइप और कैरेक्टर डेटा टाइप है, तो अब उसमें इंटीजर वैल्यू तो स्टोर नहीं होगी। सो इस इंटीजर वैल्यू के कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग जो एस्काई है, इस एस्काई कोड के कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग जो कैरेक्टर वैल्यू है वो यहाँ पे स्टोर होगी। दैट इज फॉर 65, एस्काई वैल्यू 65 we have A. Okay. ASCII, ASCII. Okay. So to print the data on screen, that all we have already done in our first program. To print the hello world, we are using printf command. So for printing values of variable is to output data on screen using the printf function. So the format of the printf function is printf bracket open. For example, if you want to print like my name is colon, then everything should be printed. So within inverted commas, you need to write the control string, comma variable 1, comma variable 2, and so on. So the control string contains the format of the data being received. That is why we write %d, %c, %s, and all those things. Also called as format specifier. Variable 1 and comma variable 2 specifies the variable whose values are needed to be printed or outputted. Okay. So format specifier, for example, over here, if you are using short int, then format specifier is %hd. If you are using unsigned short integer, then the specifier is %hu. If you are using unsigned integer, then %u. If you are using integer, then the format specifier is %d. Similarly, if you are using for floating point number, the identifier is %f. If you are using characters, then %c, and so on. So basically, in initial programming, we are basically using %d, %c, and %f. In the later on, when we become familiar to all those things, then we are going to use these different format specifier. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So reading data from keyboard, so we can use scanf for that. For giving values to variable is to input data from keyboard using the scanf. Basically we say user defined input in programming language. For example, if I say int a comma b, so हमने integer data type define कर दिया. So instead of making it a static program, like we can define a equal to 5 and b equal to 6. What we want, like whenever somebody comes and he has his own query, then he can give the value to a and b. For example, you can see the conversion of price. For example, dollar. आप ऑनलाइन जाते हैं, आप लिखते हैं कि $1, तो आपको कन्वर्टर क्या करके बताता है $1 की INR में कितनी कीमत है. The price of $1 in terms of INR. So online converter you can see on online, like you have various converters applications that are available, like you give them input, they will give you the correct output of how much currency you are going to get in which denomination. So in that, it is allowing user to enter the input. आप $10 भी लिख सकते हो, आप 11 भी लिख सकते हो, 12 भी. वो क्या करेगा, आपको उन नंबर ऑफ डॉलर्स की वैल्यू को कन्वर्ट करके INR में बता देगा. सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी आर, यूजर इज गिविंग इनपुट. उसको $10 का प्राइस चाहिए, $11 का चाहिए, 12 का चाहिए, 15 का चाहिए, वो यूजर इनपुट देगा. सो फॉर हियर ऑल्सो इन आवर प्रोग्रामिंग we can have the input from the user. So for that, for giving values to variable is to input data from keyboard using scanf function. So हम अपने input runtime पे दे सकते हैं. Okay. So the format for this is scanf bracket open within inverted commas the control string comma and variable 1 and variable 2 and so on. The control string contains the format of data being received, like %D for integer, %C for character, %F for float. The ampersand symbol and before each variable name is an operator that specifies the variable name's address. So आपका ampersand जो and लगा हुआ है वो आपका ऑपरेटर का एड्रेस है जहां पे वो स्टोर होगा. Okay, so user defined data types and this. So we shall stop it over here. So in the next class we will start from slide number
Thank you,
30.
sir. And sir,
Okay.
will you be sending this PPT to us?
I'll send this PPT after completing this one. This contains 43 slides, so we are still at 30. After completing it, I will send this PPT to you all. The first portion I have completed. I'll send that to you all by today or tomorrow itself.
Sure, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.